One scholar invented taxation as we know it. 1200 years ago, every tax system since copied his blueprint. His name was Abu Yusuf, and he created the first rational tax code in history. Baghdad, 782 AD. The Abbasid Caliphate at its peak. Harun al-Rashid becomes caliph, inherits enormous empire. Stretching from Morocco to India, faces one massive problem. How do you fund an empire? Tax collectors stealing, farmers fleeing lands, revenue collapsing, treasury empty despite wealthy empire. Previous system, chaos, no rules, no consistency. Tax collectors taking whatever they wanted. Rich paid bribes to avoid taxes. Poor crushed under impossible demands. Empire bleeding money, while people starved. Harun al-Rashid calls his former teacher, Abu Yusuf, chief judge of the empire, student of Imam Abu Hanifa. The request: design a tax system that actually works. Fair to people, sustainable for state, based on principles, not corruption. Abu Yusuf writes, Kitab al-Kharaj, the Book of Taxation, first systematic treatise on public finance in human history, 150 pages. Changed taxation forever. Every principle modern tax systems use, Abu Yusuf invented them. 12 centuries before IRS, before income tax, before any formal tax code existed. This is the story of the man who designed the first tax system, and why every government since has followed his blueprint. Even if they don't know his name, stay with me. Because what Abu Yusuf created isn't just history. It's the foundation of how every government extracts wealth today. Let's start with what taxation was before Abu Yusuf. Because the chaos explains why his system was revolutionary. Pre-Islamic Arabian taxation, no system, just tribal extraction. Strong tribes raided weak tribes, took goods, called it tribute. Merchants paid protection money to cross territories. No receipts, no rules. Whatever the chief demanded. Early Islamic period under Prophet Muhammad, first organized taxation. Zakat, religious obligation. 2.5% on savings, 5 to 10% on agricultural produce. Purpose: help poor, support community. Voluntary for Muslims. Non-Muslims paid jizya poll tax for protection. Exempted from military service. Simple system. Small government. Low needs. Worked for small community. Umayyad Caliphate expansion, empire explodes. Conquers Persia, Byzantine territories. North Africa, Spain. Suddenly ruling 50 million people. Multiple religions. Different economic systems. Umayyads kept conquered tax systems. Persians paid Persian taxes. Byzantines paid Byzantine taxes. Arabs paid Islamic taxes. Result: chaos. 17 different tax systems in one empire. The problems: tax farmers. Government sold tax collection rights to highest bidder. Buyer collected whatever he could. Kept difference as profit. No oversight. No limits. No appeals. Example from Egypt. Tax farmer pays government 1 million dirhams for right to collect taxes in region. Extracts 2 million dirhams from farmers. Keeps 1 million profit. Next year, bids 1.2 million. Must extract 2.4 million to maintain profit. Cycle accelerates. Farmers crushed. Land abandoned. Revenue falls despite higher rates. The corruption. Wealthy landowners bribed governors. Got tax exemptions. Shifted burden to small farmers. Small farmers couldn't pay for land. Became laborers. Tax base shrank. Poor paid everything. Rich paid nothing. Empire revenue falling while inequality exploded. The Abbasid Revolution, 750 AD. Abbasids overthrow Umayyads. Promised justice and reform. Reality: inherited same broken system. Tax chaos continued. By 782, Harun al-Rashid becomes caliph. Empire richest in world. Treasury nearly empty. Why? Corruption, inefficiency, unfair taxation, destroying productivity. Needs solution. Calls Abu Yusuf. Who was Abu Yusuf? Full name: Yaqub ibn Ibrahim, born Kufa, around 731 AD. Student of Imam Abu Hanifa, greatest legal scholar of era. Studied Islamic law intensely. Became chief judge of Abbasid Empire. Harun al-Rashid's personal advisor. Known for brilliant legal mind, practical solutions, understanding of economics and human behavior. The commission Harun asks Abu Yusuf, design tax system that is 1. Based on Islamic principles of justice. 2. Practical for diverse empire. 3. Fair to taxpayers. 4. Sustainable for state revenue. 5. Impossible for corrupt officials to abuse. Impossible task. No one had done this before. No models to follow. Abu Yusuf accepted. Spent months researching, consulting scholars, studying economic conditions. Result: Kitab al-Kharaj. Revolutionary text. First systematic public finance treatise in history. Now, let's look at how Abu Yusuf's system worked. For revolutionary principles, all documented in his book. Principle 1. Taxation based on ability to pay. Revolutionary concept for 8th century Abu Yusuf's argument. Quran commands justice. Justice means fairness. Fairness means taxing according to capacity. Rich farmer with fertile irrigated land can afford more tax than poor farmer with rain-fed marginal land. The implementation: land tax based on 3 factors. 1. Land quality, fertile versus barren. 2. Water source, irrigated costs less to farm, pays more tax. Rain-fed costs more to farm, pays less tax. 3. Crop type, wheat and dates higher value, taxed more. Barley and vegetables lower value, taxed less. The formula: best land with irrigation growing dates, 10 dirhams per gerab. Good land rain-fed growing wheat, 5 dirhams per gerab. Marginal land growing barley, 2 dirhams per gerab. Poor land growing vegetables, 1 dirham per gerab. This is crucial. Tax matched to productivity. Not arbitrary, not uniform, proportional. The genius encourages productivity. Farmer improving land pays more tax, but keeps most of profit. Incentive to invest. Previous system: improvement meant higher arbitrary tax. Punishment for success. Abu Yusuf reversed this. Principle 2. Fixed rates, not arbitrary assessment. Before Abu Yusuf, tax collector came, looked at farm, demanded whatever he wanted. Farmer had no recourse. Abu Yusuf's reform: publish fixed rates. Everyone knows in advance. No surprises. No negotiation. No bribes. Rates written in official registers. Posted in villages. Tax collector cannot deviate. The protection: farmer knows exactly what he owes before planting. Can plan. Can budget. Can invest with certainty. Tax collector cannot extort. Cannot threaten. Cannot demand bribes. Everything predetermined. The appeal process: if collector overcharges, farmer can appeal to Qadi, show official rate, get refund plus penalty on collector. First time in history, taxpayer had legal recourse against tax authority. Principle 3. Broad-based low rates. Abu Yusuf understood something modern economists rediscovered. Low rates on broad base generate more revenue than high rates on narrow base. His reasoning: high tax rates discourage production. Farmers abandon land. Merchants avoid trade. Economy shrinks. Revenue falls. Low tax rates encourage production. Farmers expand cultivation. Merchants increase trade. Economy grows. Revenue rises. The rates he recommended: agricultural land, 5 to 10% of produce depending on quality. Trade goods, 2.5% customs duty. Personal wealth zakah, 2.5% annually. Compared to previous system, tax farmers extracting 30 to 50%, destroying productivity. The math: previous system, 50% tax on shrinking base equals falling revenue. Abu Yusuf system, 10% tax on growing base equals rising revenue. Within years of implementation, Abbasid revenue doubled, not from raising rates, from expanding base. Principle 4. Protection of capital and incentives. Abu Yusuf recognized overtaxing capital destroys future productivity. His rule: never tax farmers' seed grain, never tax merchants' trading capital, never tax craftsmen's tools. Why? These are means of production. Taxing them kills economic growth. Tax only surplus, only profit, only what exceeds necessary capital. Example: farmer harvests 100 sacks of wheat, needs 20 sacks for next year's seed, needs 30 sacks to feed family. Surplus: 50 sacks. Tax: 5 sacks. 10% of surplus, not of total harvest. The effect: farmer can reinvest, can expand, can improve. Next year, harvests 120 sacks. Tax base grows naturally. Previous system, taxed total harvest. Farmer ate seed grain. Next year, couldn't plant. Revenue collapsed. The documentation requirement: Abu Yusuf mandated every tax payment recorded, receipt given, collector signs, collector's superior countersigns, copy kept by taxpayer, copy sent to Central Treasury, copy kept by local governor. 3 independent records. Nearly impossible to falsify all 3. If dispute, compare records. Truth emerges. First, accounting controls and government taxation history. The impact on ordinary people was transformative. Let's look at documented cases. The Egyptian farmer relief Egypt under Umayyads. Tax farming destroying agriculture. Farmers paid up to 60% of harvest. Many abandoned land, fled to cities. Agricultural output collapsed. Abu Yusuf's reform applied. 790 AD. Egypt adopts new system. Tax rates, 10% on best land, 5% on average, 2% on marginal fixed rates published. No tax farmer, middlemen. Direct government collection with receipts. The result, within 5 years, abandoned land, recultivated. Farmers returned. Output increased 40%. Government revenue from Egypt doubled, despite cutting rates by 70%. How? Tax base expanded. More land farmed. More produce grown. 10% of much larger amount exceeded 50% of tiny amount. The documented testimony. Egyptian farmers sent petition to Caliph Harun al-Rashid, quote, "Before your justice we starved, while collectors grew rich. Now we prosper, and treasury fills. This is true." Governance. The Persian merchant liberation. Persian merchants under Umayyads faced dozens of arbitrary tolls and customs posts. Every city, every border, every river crossing. Different rates. No receipts. Pure extortion. Example, journey. Merchant traveling Baghdad to Merv. 10 customs posts. Each demanded payment. Total cost, 30% of goods value. Made long-distance trade unprofitable. Merchants avoided routes. Economy fragmented. Abu Yusuf's reform. 1 customs duty, 2.5%. Paid once at origin. Certificate issued. Valid entire empire. No additional charges allowed. Violating collector. Fired and fined double what he illegally collected. The explosion of trade. Within decade, long-distance trade volume tripled. Baghdad markets flooded with goods from Persia, Central Asia, India, China. Customs revenue increased 5 times, despite cutting total rates by 90%. Volume made up for rate reduction. Classic economic principle proven 12 centuries early. The converted farmers' protection, major issue. Non-Muslims converting to Islam. Islamic law. Muslims don't pay jizya poll tax, pay zakat instead. Problem under Umayyads. Governors refused to remove jizya after conversion. Double taxation. Why? Governors personally profited from jizya. Didn't want to lose revenue. The injustice. Farmer converts to Islam, still forced to pay jizya plus zakat. Discrimination against converts. Result. People stopped converting, or hid conversions, or paid bribes to avoid double tax. Abu Yusuf's ruling. Clear and absolute. Conversion immediately ends jizya obligation. Tax collectors must maintain conversion registry. Update monthly. No delays allowed. Appeals process for disputed cases. Default presumption favors taxpayer. The documented case. Village in Khorasan. 300 families converted. Governor kept collecting jizya for 2 years. Complaint reached Harun al-Rashid. Abu Yusuf investigated. Judgment. Governor fired. Families refunded 2 years of wrongly collected taxes. Governor paid penalty from personal wealth. The small trader protection. Abu Yusuf recognized. Small traders needed different treatment than large merchants. The rule. Traders with goods worth less than 200 dirhams, exempt from taxation entirely. Why? Compliance costs would exceed revenue. Better to exempt and let them grow. The threshold. Once traders' capital exceeds 200 dirhams consistently for full year, tax applies, but only on amount exceeding 200. First 200 always exempt. Example, small trader has capital of 500 dirhams. Taxable amount, 300 dirhams, tax at 2.5%, 7.5 dirhams annually. The effect, thousands of small traders operated freely, grew without tax burden, eventually became larger taxpayers, created entrepreneurial class, upward mobility, economic dynamism. Previous system, taxed everyone equally, killed small business, prevented growth. The widow and orphan exemption. Abu Yusuf insisted, taxation must consider social welfare. The rule, widows exempt from land tax for first 2 years after husband's death, orphans exempt from all taxes until reaching maturity. Disabled, exempt from jizya, reduced agricultural tax. Elderly jizya, waived after age 60. The reasoning, these groups cannot bear tax burden. Taxing them creates poverty and resentment. Better to exempt them. Let community support them. Maintain social cohesion. The implementation. Local Codi maintained exemption registry. Updated annually. Verified circumstances. False claims penalized. But presumption of truthfulness unless proven otherwise. The cost may be 5% of potential revenue lost to exemptions, but social benefit enormous. Poverty reduced. Social stability maintained. Long-term revenue protected. Let's look at specific innovations Abu Yusuf created, each one revolutionary for its time. Case 1. The agricultural calendar system. Problem. Previous system taxed farmers at arbitrary times, often right after harvest, when they had no cash. Had to sell grain immediately at low prices. Abu Yusuf's solution. Tax collection synchronized with agricultural calendar. Different crops matured different times. Collection dates matched crop cycles. Example: wheat harvest, May and June. Tax due, July and August. Date harvest, September and October. Tax due, November and December. Farmers had time to sell at good prices. Market not flooded. Prices stable. The secondary benefit. Staggered collection meant steady government revenue throughout year. No feast and famine cycles. Treasury could plan spending. No emergency borrowing needed. Simple innovation. Massive impact. Case 2. The disaster relief protocol. Abu Yusuf understood. Natural disasters destroy tax base if not addressed. The protocol. Flood, drought, locusts, disease-destroying crops. Automatic tax reduction. Assessment team visits affected area within 30 days. Documents damage. Reduces tax proportionally. The formula. Crop loss under 25%. No reduction. Farmers can absorb crop loss 25 to 50%. Tax reduced by half. Crop loss 50 to 75%. Tax reduced to 1/4. Crop loss over 75%. Tax waived completely. Plus government aid provided. The genius. Prevented abandonment of land. Farmers knew disaster wouldn't bankrupt them. Kept farming through difficult years. Long-term revenue protected, short-term loss accepted. Documented example. 795 AD. Tigris River floods. Destroys crops in central Iraq. Assessment team dispatched. Found 60% crop loss average. Tax reduced to 25% of normal. Plus government distributed seed grain for replanting. Next year, full harvest. Farmers paid normal tax. Plus extra to repay seed loan over 3 years, interest-free. Revenue recovered. Farmers saved. System worked. Case 3. The progressive land reclamation incentive. Vast amounts of abandoned or undeveloped land throughout empire. Abu Yusuf's policy. Anyone reclaiming dead land. Tax-free for first 3 years. Reduced rate years 4 through 10. Full rate after 10 years. The reasoning. Reclamation requires huge investment. Labor, irrigation, soil improvement. No immediate return. Tax break makes reclamation profitable. Expands cultivated area. Eventually increases tax base. The qualification must actually improve land, not just claim it. Inspections verify progress. If abandoned before 10 years, lose claim. Land available for next person. The success. Between 785 and 815. Cultivated land area increased 30%. Tax revenue eventually increased proportionally. All from previously zero revenue land. Cost, nothing. Just deferred taxation. Eventually recovered plus growth. Case 4. The Commercial Registry and Business Tax. Abu Yusuf created first business registration system. The requirement. Merchants and craftsmen register business with local authorities. Declare capital. Receive certificate. Certificate required for legal contracts. Market stall rental. Import-export. Banking services. The tax. Annual business tax. 2.5% of declared capital. Self-reported, but subject to audit. False declaration. Penalty of triple the shortfall. The genius. Created official business records. Enabled contract enforcement. Reduced fraud. Tax revenue from business sector. Previously near zero due to tax evasion. Now substantial and growing. The trust system. Abu Yusuf assumed honesty, unless proven otherwise. Audits targeted suspicious cases, not everyone. Result. High compliance. Low enforcement costs. Voluntary tax system that actually worked. Case 5. The budget transparency mandate. Most revolutionary idea. Government must disclose how tax money is spent. Abu Yusuf's principle. Taxpayers have right to know where money goes. Increases willingness to pay. Reduces resentment. The implementation. Annual public reading of imperial budget in major cities. Categories. Military. Administration. Public works. Poor relief, salaries, amounts specified, questions allowed, explanations provided. The accountability governors required to maintain local budgets, available for public inspection. Discrepancies between reported and actual, investigation triggered, corrupt officials removed. The revolutionary nature. No government before this had budget transparency. Rulers spent in secret. Accountability non-existent. Abu Yusuf made government accountable to taxpayers. 12 centuries before modern democracies did same. So what did Abu Yusuf's system create? The foundation of modern public finance. The immediate results within Harun al-Rashid's reign. Under Abu Yusuf's system, Abbasid revenue increased from 200 million dirhams annually to 400 million dirhams, not from raising rates, from expanding base through fair taxation. Agricultural output increased 40%. Trade volume tripled. Urban population grew as economic opportunity expanded. Tax compliance went from roughly 30% to over 80%. The Golden Age. Harun al-Rashid's reign, remembered as Islamic Golden Age. Baghdad became richest city on earth. Population 1 million. Center of learning and trade. Foundation. Abu Yusuf's tax system funded everything fairly, sustainably. The spread. Abu Yusuf's Kitab al-Kharaj studied throughout Islamic world. Other caliphates and sultanates adopted his principles, modified for local conditions, but core ideas remained. Spread to Umayyad Spain, Fatimid Egypt, Seljuk, Persia, Ayyubid Syria, Mamluk territories, Ottoman Empire. Each successive Islamic government used Abu Yusuf's framework. The influence on Europe. Medieval European scholars translated Arabic texts, including tax treatises. European kingdoms studying Islamic governance noticed Islamic empires better funded, better organized, more stable revenue. Why? Superior tax systems. The borrowing 12th to 15th centuries. European kingdoms gradually adopted fixed tax rates instead of arbitrary assessment. Borrowed from Abu Yusuf. Accounting and receipt systems. Borrowed from Abu Yusuf. Differentiated rates based on productivity. Borrowed from Abu Yusuf. Tax exemptions for poor and disadvantaged. Borrowed from Abu Yusuf. Didn't credit him. Claimed to invent these ideas. But chronology proves Islamic origin. The modern tax principles. Every principle modern tax systems claim to follow. Abu Yusuf wrote it first. Progressive taxation. Tax according to ability to pay. Abu Yusuf, 782 AD. Fixed transparent rates. Published tax codes. Abu Yusuf. Taxpayer rights and appeals. Legal recourse against excessive taxation. Abu Yusuf. Disaster relief. Automatic reduction for natural disasters. Abu Yusuf. Small business exemptions. Threshold below which no tax applies. Abu Yusuf. Capital preservation. Don't tax means of production. Abu Yusuf. Budget transparency. Government discloses spending. Abu Yusuf. Every single principle. One man, one book. 12 centuries ago. The forgotten legacy. Why don't modern economists know Abu Yusuf? Western academic bias. Islamic contributions to economics, systematically ignored or uncredited. Modern public finance textbooks start with Adam Smith, 1776. Ignore Abu Yusuf, 782. Nearly 1,000 years earlier. The irony. Modern debates about taxation, how to make it fair, how to maintain revenue, how to prevent evasion. Abu Yusuf solved all these problems 1,200 years ago. Solutions still work today. But his name absent from economics curricula. His book untranslated in many languages. His contributions erased. The current relevance. Every problem modern tax systems face. Abu Yusuf addressed it. Tax evasion. His solution. Fair rates, broad base, transparency, accountability, economic inequality. His solution. Progressive taxation. Exemptions for poor. Protection of small business. Revenue shortfalls. His solution. Low rates encourage growth. Grow the base. Revenue follows. Corruption. His solution. Fixed rates. Published rules. Receipts. Audits. Penalties for collectors. The principles remained valid. Not because Abu Yusuf was prophet. Because he understood human nature and economic incentives. High taxes discouraged production. Arbitrary enforcement breeds resentment. Corruption destroys trust. Transparency builds legitimacy. These truths don't change. Abu Yusuf recognized them in 8th century. Still true in 21st century. So here's the truth about Abu Yusuf. He didn't just design a tax system. He invented public finance as a rational discipline. Before him, chaos, arbitrary extraction, tax farming, corruption, collapsed productivity. After him, order, fixed rates, transparent rules, accountability, economic growth. Every principle modern taxation claims is innovation. Abu Yusuf wrote it first. Progressive rates, broad base, taxpayer rights, disaster relief, budget transparency, all documented in Kitab al-Kharaj, 782 AD. The results speak for themselves. Abbasid revenue doubled, agricultural output up 40%, trade tripled, compliance increased to 80%, golden age of Islam funded by fair taxation. Baghdad became richest city on earth, learning and culture flourished, all built on economic foundation. Abu Yusuf created his system spread across Islamic world, influenced medieval Europe, underlies modern tax codes, yet his name erased. His contributions uncredited. His book untranslated in most languages. Western economics pretends taxation science began with Adam Smith. Ignores Abu Yusuf, who came 1,000 years earlier. This isn't accident. This is systematic erasure of Islamic intellectual contributions. What do you think? Should Abu Yusuf be recognized as father of public finance? Should his work be taught in economics courses? Because right now, every government on earth uses principles he invented, without knowing his name. Your income tax. Progressive rates. Abu Yusuf invented that. Small business tax exemption. Abu Yusuf created that. Taxpayer appeals process. Abu Yusuf established that. Disaster relief tax reduction. Abu Yusuf designed that. Government budget transparency. Abu Yusuf mandated that. Every reform modern politicians propose. Abu Yusuf implemented it 12 centuries ago and proved it works. Doubled revenue, grew economy, maintained fairness, reduced inequality. The blueprint exists, has existed for 1200 years. Written by judge serving Caliph Harun al-Rashid. Modern governments ignore it, reinvent worse versions, fail repeatedly because they don't study history, don't credit Islamic scholars, don't learn from what worked. Abu Yusuf designed the first rational tax system. Every system since is either copying him or failing because it doesn't. The man who designed taxation, the scholar the world forgot, the intellectual whose legacy funds every government but whose name appears in no textbook. Abu Yusuf, student of Imam Abu Hanifa, chief judge of the Abbasid Empire, inventor of public finance, the first and still the best. 782 AD. One book, 150 pages. Abu Yusuf created every tax principle modern governments use. They just forgot to credit him. The man who designed taxation, the scholar who proved fair taxes grow economies, the legacy we use but refuse to acknowledge.